Mr. President, and it's the third time I visit this beautiful country, and I'm very impressed by the efforts you are doing to strengthen the knowledge base of the regions and to develop innovation strategies. And it's a great honor to speak to this prestigious assembly. I'm going to speak about modes of innovation and coordination of innovation policy. And my background is I'm an academic. I worked at universities most of my professional life, but I also worked 3 years at the OECD at the Directorate for Science, Technology and Industry. And last year I was nominated ambassador for the European Year of Creativity and Innovation. What I'm going to talk about today, very briefly, is why we should promote innovation. And then I will propose that we need what I call a holistic understanding of the innovation process. We need to have a broad understanding, and we also need a broad definition of the innovation system, and therefore we need a new type of coordination of innovation policy. This will be my message today, and I will present very quickly some results from some research I made, and if there's some people interested, they can address two published papers. The first one is on forms of knowledge and modes of innovation, which is the theme of today, and the other one is more about the organization of work in different parts of Europe and how that relates strongly to the innovation capacity of different national systems. I will propose that my slides are put on some website, so if you are really interested, you will be able to go back and find these publications, because I will not be able to go into detail with the kind of results we are working on. So why promote innovation? I think these times we are in terrible times, I would say. We are faced with so many crises. We are faced with ash from Iceland, oil from coming into the beaches in the United States. And I would say that these problems need a lot of innovation. The airplanes need to be further developed so they can fly even when there's ash in the air. And of course, you need oil platforms which actually do not create these kind of catastrophes. For those, I think there is a direct translation if you want to follow. And of course, global warming is something which requires enormous amount of innovation, both in terms of technology, but also in terms of institutional and regulatory regimes. I would also say that the current European crisis, which I regard as extremely serious, actually below that lies uneven development of innovation and industrial transformation in Europe. If you look at the parts of Europe which are most exposed to the current financial crisis, they are typically weak in terms of innovation and in terms of the industrial structure. So it's not only a question about monetary funding and finance and so on, it's really about promoting innovation in the weakest part of Europe. It's fundamental for saving Europe, I would say. And finally, of course, innovation is absolutely necessary for the long-term survival of firms. I mean, no firm can survive today for a long period without developing its process of production and its products. And it's also absolutely necessary for sustained regional development. So there are very good reasons. I think we are paying a price today for neglecting the real economy. We are paying the price for being too much focused on money and finance. And I think there's a need to change. And this implies a strong focus on the knowledge base and on innovation. I would mention 3 principles of systemic innovation policy. One is inclusiveness. We need to have a broad and strategic involvement both of users of the demand side, and we also need a strong involvement broadly, widely of employees. We can show that the countries will have the strongest participation at the workplace are also much more innovative than those countries where the involvement is much less developed. We need openness. No country or region can anymore survive on the basis of the knowledge they have within their own borders. We need to enhance the capacity to absorb and use knowledge developed abroad. This is fundamental for innovation strategy. And we need industrial transformation. We need to change the production structure towards more advanced products so you are not so vulnerable to global competition. We cannot live anymore from tailorized workplaces or standard products. We need to upgrade the industrial structure. And this is, of course, especially important for small and open countries and small and open regions. What I'm going to refer to here is some work I've done together with a colleague, Edward Lawrence. And it's about the need to combine science-based with experience-based learning. Sometimes you have a tendency to think about innovation as coming directly from science. It's not correct. It's correct that science becomes increasingly important for all sectors, even so-called traditional ones. But most innovations do not come directly out of scientific research. In order to develop successful innovation, there's a need to combine what I call STI learning, science-based learning, with experience-based learning, what I call DUI learning. And the analysis I'm going to present to you is based on several hundred Danish private sector firms, but I know others, even in China, have replicated this kind of analysis and got similar results. We define 2 modes of innovation. One is science technology innovation, characterized by a science approach. Innovation policy here is mainly like a science technology policy. On the other hand, we have GUI mode of learning, which refers to learning by doing, learning by using, and learning by interacting with customers.